Space is a never-ending racetrack. The thermal shock region on the prow of our solar system, for example, is screaming through the heavens at 490,000 miles an hour. Earth is hurtling round the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. God, it seems, is a complete speed freak.
And this is what I'm pitting against him, the new Jaguar XJ. And already there's a problem, because which one do I take? The supercharged V8 is fast and exciting but thirsty. The diesel could do the journey easily on less than half a tank, and not having to fill up will save time.
In the end, though, it was a simple decision. I went for the fast one.
Stopwatch, sat-nav.
This is it then. For your Sunday night delectation, a big Jag versus God.
It's like songs of praise with a supercharger.
At 9:36, the sun sank below the horizon. And the race was on.
Here we go! Now that is what the mysterious sunset green flash is all about, obviously. It's God's starting light. He wants to race us. He likes racing. Okay, here are my issues. The sun will rise over East Anglia at 4:30 in the morning. That gives me 6 hours and 54 minutes to do 432 miles. That means averaging 62 miles an hour.
At this stage, Dawn still had 4,200 miles to go before it reached Lowestoft. But it was doing a massive 610 miles an hour.
One hold-up, one red light, God wins.
And already, he was playing dirty.
Get out of the way! They've all been to watch the sunset at Land's End and now going back to the hotel. Oh, this is bad. 30 miles an hour. Half what I need to be doing.
But then the road straightened out and the Jag pounced.
Are you overtaking? Holy cow! This thing is fast. But then it kind of would be, because the supercharged V8 that's hauling me along produces more power and more torque than the 6-litre V12 in an Aston Martin Rapide. I am going to thrash God.
But then he enlisted the services of an unusual ally.
Yeah! The devil's work!
Beelzebub's cones went on for miles and my average speed collapsed.
I'm in Cornwall, doing 50 because of average speed cameras to protect the workforce who aren't here. And the sun has already risen in Sydney.
God was winning. This is a quick car, but there's a bit more to it than raw speed.
Sitting in an old Jag, even the last one, was like sitting in a country pub. You were cramped. There were beams. You half expected to be steering with a wagon wheel. This, though, with the blue lighting round the vents and the blue glow in the door pockets. They've even lined this cubbyhole and the glove box, as you can see, with purple velvet. That's like lifting up the Queen's skirt and finding she's wearing a thong. Love these. Stroke the lights to make them come on or off.
There are other thoughtful touches too.
Oh, yeah, it's hard. Oh, yeah. Lower. Lower. There.
Yes, as I'm sure you realised, that's the seat massager at work.
It's like kneading me and all that in the seat.
Then there's the stereo system.
In the last Jag, you got a gramophone with a dog sitting on it, but in this, I've got 1,200 watts, and it will play anything. You push that.
By the time I realized I didn't understand iPod connectivity, the sun was over Thailand. And I was facing a decision made by thousands of holidaymakers every summer. M5 and M4 or A303 past Stonehenge.
The motorway is 20 miles further, but probably better for fuel consumption. But the A303 is more fun in a car like this. Yeah, A303 it is!
This was a good call.
There's a whiff of NASCAR about this car. And now, I'm going to give it a bit more because I'm going to engage dynamic mode. Look, the dials glow red. What this does is firms everything up, gives you more punch.
Also, because the XJ is made entirely from aluminium, it's much lighter than any other big car.
It feels like a sports car. On good roads like these, it's not far short of a masterpiece.
The Jag set about chewing up the miles.
Druids.
By 1:45, I figured I was in the lead, but I'd reached the M3, which was boring. So I decided to let the car drive itself.
Right, cruise control on. Very good system this. Set the speed at 70, and the road ahead is scanned by microwaves. I'm going to hook on now to the back of our camera car. There we go. So now if he speeds up, I speed up. If he slows down, I slow down. I don't have to do anything. And I can even choose what sort of distance I want to follow it at. There's the safe distance there. Right down to the full Audi. Yes, there we are. That's the Audi following distance.
It was now late, the motorway was monotonous, and my thoughts turned to the business of staying sharp.
Production team, as usual, has provided me with a CD to keep me awake on this long and difficult and perilous voyage.
But it was while working at Radio Lancashire that I experienced a revelation. I took over as producer and presenter of the weekend mid-morning shows. I reported on roadblocks, farm animal breakouts, carol concerts, jumble sales,
Hammond's adventures in local radio weren't helping.
record-breaking attempts and sponsored swims.
But soon, something else did.
Fuel warning light is on! And I'm only on the M25! No!
A splash and dash pit stop cost precious moments.
Here we go.
And then Beelzebub decided to cost me even more.
No. This is exactly the sort of hold-up I can do without. Is anyone going to be working on them? I mean, really? So you have to drive along at 50 miles an hour, glaring at your speedometer, not looking at the road ahead. That's very dangerous. I mean, it raises money for the government, obviously, but it's very dangerous. Oh.
By the time the roadworks finished, God was back in the lead. He was now just over an hour from Lowestoft.
Okay, 65 miles to go, and I would say that the inky blackness of night has become sort of royal blue. I suppose the sun will be early with it. Can it do that? There is a smudge in the sky, a big one. The Mother of Fire, it seems, is coming back. That is daylight. I have 39 minutes.
There were still 34 miles to go, but win or lose, I was glad I'd done this race in the Jag.
An S-Class may be a comparable limo to this, but an S-Class doesn't go and stop and steer anything like as well as this. If you're a keen driver, this is the only big car you can have.
The sun was now over Amsterdam and would appear in Suffolk in just 12 minutes.
4.9 miles. Right, where am I going? Where is England's most easterly spot? Come on. I'm lost! No! Red light now. Come on! This is it.